Hi, y'all. It is Saturday, the 29th of January, and here we are on day 29 of How Will You Bring More Life to Your 2022, and I am still in my meditation space. Hi, Sanita. Have you ever had a day, especially a Saturday that's beautiful outside, that you just don't want to get out of your pajamas? Yes, I'm having one of those days. So, hi, Sanita. So this is a beautiful scarf I got in Canada, which is sort of my Irish colors, and it just makes me happy. So I am laughing my butt off because I've been thinking about you guys all day. What is the piece that I want to share with you guys today? And I just had a hour and a half conversation with my dear friend Christiane in Montreal, and we have sort of a monthly conversation where we just talk about whatever. And I just thought, oh my gosh, here's the conversation for this afternoon. And what I found out is sometimes some things that are true for you are so true for you that they're invisible. Like you don't even see them. You don't even credit how important they are, how powerful they are, because they're just part of you. And what's so big about that? Well, I just had one of those conversations with her, and I realized that I had something that was so true for me that I missed it. And part of the, being in the crap, being in the I just don't want to do anything, and I don't know what to do, and I'm not feeling like moving, and it doesn't feel like there's any life in my 2022. There's just this. All of that is a breakdown. And the breakdown is what gets you ready for the breakthrough. I know these things, and yet when you live them, it's completely different. So I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with staying in your pajamas all day on a Saturday. In fact, if you can, all weekend on a Saturday. And if you have a lovely scarf to put over your pajamas, feel free, because, I've already appeared here with my quilt on, and, so this has to be a little bit different. But what makes me laugh so hard is that I have brushed my hair, I've brushed my teeth, I've washed my face, and I'm still in my pajamas. And it's 2:30 in the afternoon. And that actually is something that's bringing more life to my 2022. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so Maya, what was the thing that you didn't see? Well, I want to invite you to consider the possibility that you are carrying around with you superpowers, and I'm going to say it because I'm Irish, magic and brightness that is not apparent to you and yet is apparent to people who know you and love you. And so it takes somebody outside of you to point to something that's as obvious to them as the nose on your face, but that it's invisible to you. So that's what my conversation was. Now, you may know that I've created something called Simple Shifts to Reinvent. And it used to be called Simple Shifts to Forge Ahead Faster. And the general title of it is just my Simple Shifts system. And all that is catching yourself feeling like crap and asking yourself, what would you rather have? Understanding that, you've got to be safe, and you've got to find a way to be safe, whether it is move yourself to a location where you are physically safe, or move yourself to a mental location where you actually believe that you're safe. Because until you're safe, your brain doesn't work. Because we are wired to be safe. We are wired to use fear as a structure that keeps us safe. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is you got to understand and be ready to, in the midst of whatever is happening to you, that this thing that feels so bad and feels so weird, hi Margaret, is actually good for you. And that will get you to here. So that's my unconscious trap. You fall into an unconscious trap and you go, okay, I know where I am and I know what I can do. The simple shift is to choose to do something else. Okay, so that's something that is so true for me. That's how I've been living my life for decades, that it's obvious to me. So my friend Christiane, who is amazing and awesome, invited me to consider that that is something that is so true for me, and yet is something that other people could see and use and actually pay for. Because, of course, in the online world, we're all making a living. And how does that work? So my big breakthrough from my conversation with Christiane is that I actually know how to make simple shifts my own superpower, and I know how to show other people how to make simple shifts their superpower. It's such a little tiny nuance. It's such a little tiny shift. And, hi, Monica. I'm warming you up, girl. It's such a tiny shift, and yet it's invisible. So my question to you is, what are the things that are a little tiny shift for you to recognize that other people see as your bright light that you're shining in the world? It doesn't matter if you're in your pajamas. It doesn't matter if you have your makeup on or not. It doesn't matter if your hair looks fabulous. What matters is that your soul is shining through. Your essence is shining through. And that's what the world needs. It doesn't need you to be perfect. It doesn't need you to be even as articulate as you think you need to be. It just needs you to be you. So my breakthrough this morning was, what if it's so close to me, I just needed someone who loves me to show it to me? It was a huge breakthrough. And it allowed me to come running upstairs, put this on, and go, you guys, guess what? So I'm inviting you to consider that everybody is just the same in this way, that each of us was put on the planet for a purpose. And whether you call it God or the Great Mother or the Source or the Divine Light or whatever you call it, that source that we all have actually is the heart of what we're here to do. There's a poem on my wall, and it's by a poet named Rainer Maria Rilke. It was a guy. And it is, I wish I could remember all the pieces of it. I will post it, in the comments. I'll post the whole poem. But the part that I remember is, you called to the limits of your longing, beyond your recall. In other words, you don't remember the conversation. And the invitation is to go to the limits of your longing and embody the source of the divine and bring that out into the world. And be the hands of God so that the world, Rilke, that's right, so that the world can benefit. And that's what I'm getting on day 29. It doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter where I am. It only matters that I show up. And so I will invite you to consider the same is true for you. It doesn't matter. There's no perfection. It's just show up and be. Show up and love. Show up and support. Show up and point a direction that you've discovered that other people may be looking for. And show up and understand that a breakdown is required for a breakthrough. We're all looking for the breakthroughs. And remember, I said, when you call something forth of what you want, you call forth everything that's going to help you, including the breakdowns, including the pieces that aren't fun and aren't comfortable and you don't want to deal with. I'm just getting that today. I'm getting that in a visceral way that's not intellectual. I'm getting it in a personal, physical way. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, we've said so much in these 29 days. And we are going to have something tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what it will be. I will send out those invitations because, of course, I've been in my pajamas and just taking care of Maya and having a conversation with my friend. And so I will send those invitations out before 3 o'clock today. Before 4 o'clock today. And just invite you all to, be on camera, say something, share what you've done and what you've learned, and just what this bring more light to your 2022 means for you. So, so what do I want to leave you with today in this very short and very enthusiastic and delighted conversation? Number one, you are perfect in your humanity, in your imperfection, in your flawedness, in your lostness, in your breakdowns, in your not dressed up, not fixed up, not ready. You are perfect because, as we used to say in the drug and alcohol field, God don't make no junk. He, she only makes perfection. And that's different than perfect. Perfection and perfect are related. They're not the same. Number two, it's our willingness to show up that changes the world. It's our willingness to trust that we have something to contribute that changes the world. So I'm going to invite you to consider that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you showing up is the miracle. And number three, I'm admitting to all of you that I am willing to stand up and be counted for my simple shift system. I'm reworking what I thought was true. I'm adapting, I'm adjusting, I'm shifting. And I'm ready to show the world how to make simple shifts your superpower. I can show you how. And I'm willing to stand up and be counted. So thank you for being my witnesses. Thank you for being here in my meditation space with my lovely Canadian Irish shawl, with my imperfection, with my joy, with my delight, and with all these things I'm learning because of my conversations with you. I'm Maya Beatty, and I'll see you next time.